Hello and welcome. This is It's Always About Love, and I'm Life Coach Lee Evans. I'm here with psychotherapist Lynn Lara. Lynn has been in private practice for many years, and today she brings all that experience and wisdom to help you. We are here to answer your relationship questions. It's our desire to help you and make what you learn from this podcast usable in your life right now. Do you have a concern that you would like to share with us? Send your email to its always about love, the number 1 at gmail.com. Now let's get started. Are you there, Lynn? Good.
I'm here, Lee. I'm here. And hi. Listen, are we letting our audience know that it's early in the morning instead of 5 o'clock at night? Okay. Be aware that it's very early in the morning for us doing this. I'm earlier than Lee is. I'm 2 hours ahead of her. But we're so happy to be here with you. And the reason we're doing this at a different time is because Lee has some things she needs to do today. And I totally support her.
It tastes wonderful.
Lee, how's your goulash?
Yes. And it smelled so
good. Are you
good.
serious? Oh. Did you taste it?
Yes, I just did.
Did you taste it today?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Was it better today than yesterday? Day-old goulash is better, you guys. And, I'd love to give every one of you the recipe, but I just can't bring myself to do it. Oh, Lee, I forgot. I have a great recipe for cranberry sauce. It's unbelievable, and it's all mine. And I took my cranberry sauce to a big gathering of people who, I forgot to tell you this, a gathering of people. It was several years ago, and everybody wanted the recipe. They said, this is the best cranberry. So I said, anybody who guesses what I put in it can have the recipe. And this guy came, and I said, but only say it to me quietly. This guy comes over and he says, I'm a chef. I'm in the middle of writing a cookbook, and I'd really like to use your recipe. I said, well, what's in it? And he said, blah, blah, blah. And I said, you're right. You get to put it in your book. And I stayed true to it. But I will give you, Lee, the recipe for all these other wonderful recipes you have. I hope you're saving them because the people you're making these things for are going to want you to fix these things again and again and again. Okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm so glad you like the goulash. That's so exciting. You guys, I wish I could fix it for all of you. I really do. We now have 2,500 and what? 89. 2,589 of you out there listening to us, and we love every single one of you. We do, and I would feed you goulash, but it won't work. I did used to send it, though. I would fix a great big pot of it and take it down to a place in Seattle, Washington called Pioneer Square. And it was where all the homeless people didn't have any. I could tell that story real quick. Can I, Lee? Yeah. I wanted to sing. I thought I should be singing and going to different churches and talking about my relationship with God, and I would sing. And I had a Bible study at the time, and so Oh, how did I find it? Anyway, we went to this great big show with a lot of Christians who were big stars. And so we went in and they put us down in front. There were about 15 of us in the group that I had there. And they put us down in front because they'd run out of seating. So they put up chairs for us and we sat down there. And I thought, isn't this sweet? God is going to give me my ministry today, because God had never said, I think it's a good idea for you to go sing around the country. So I thought, isn't this sweet? He's going to tell me here where all these professional singers are. And I was pretty thrilled. And in the middle of the big program, we all had our hands raised up in the air, singing to the praises of the Lord. And I heard from God, and God said to me, I want you to go to Pioneer Square and feed my children. And I went, what? I've been feeding people for a long time. I want to go be a singer. And I was angry with God. 2 weeks went by and I didn't do anything. And then I thought, God never really asks anything of me. I need to do that. So but I wasn't happy about it. I took white bread. I got several loaves of white bread and cheap peanut butter and jelly and cheap cookies and cheap apples. And I opened up the back end of my car and I was slapping all these peanut butter and jelly sandwiches together. And hungry people who were all homeless, it was all men. And they were all lined up. Oh, gosh. It turns out that this is a much more beautiful story than I remember it to be. Anyway, I was slapping the sandwiches together and saying, here, take this, take this. I wasn't happy. And a man came up to me and he said, I haven't eaten in 2 days. I really want to thank you. And I said, oh, you're welcome. And I looked at him and I thought, he's a liar. Everybody's eaten. These are not hungry people. And then I saw him. Just a few minutes later, he was out on the lawn and he had taken half of the sandwich that I had given him and given it to birds. And he was feeding the birds around him. And I yelled out to him. And I said, I thought you said you hadn't eaten in 2 days. And he looked at me and he said, but they haven't eaten either. Oh, gosh. It just broke my heart. My life changed because of that man. And I've never been able to thank him. I became a much nicer person because of him. And then I began to take goulash, big pots of goulash down. And yeah, pretty good deal. I really enjoyed being with those people and feeding them whatever I could. And other people began to give me money
Yes.
to buy food. The folks that I knew in my field began to pay me or just pay so I could buy more and more food. That was sweet. Anyway, my life changed because of that man. I'm sorry I didn't give him lots of the sandwiches. I regret it, but he changed my life. Isn't that nicely?
I'll let you read this time,
Yeah.
just because we've been having audio problems.
So they got goulash too.
And you seem to always come in much better than I do. So
I guess we better get on. I probably talked too long for the program. Listen, I've only read one of these 2 letters. The one about depression. Do you want to read that? Oh, okay. Okay. That's because I'm not gonna play. It isn't for anything. Okay. This starts out, I'm really struggling at the moment as I'm just recently realized how hard and frustrating loving someone with depression is. Isn't that sad? Of course, it's very, very hard. And I respect this person because they are understanding it. So many people get angry with someone who's depressed and say, get it together. What's wrong with you? But this person isn't doing that. Where do I turn to? When he's in self-destruct mode, closes himself off from the world, doesn't want to speak or actually believes that he's beyond help. As you may have gathered, me and my partner are gay. I didn't know. That was a surprise. Not that it matters. I feel being open and honest is the key to helping with depression. Many times I've
Yes,
cried,
he is.
been
Very
angry, and
understanding.
really want to
Yes, I
shake
am.
him
Can you hear
as I
me?
don't understand. Please understand I love him very much and want to do all I can to
Well,
help him.
I'm still here.
I now realize
It looks
that
like we dropped
it is
Lynn.
a
And
lifetime
yes, he's very
commitment
understanding.
and one I know will be full
Extremely
of ups and
understanding.
downs. He
So
is
let me
such a
continue
nice
on until
person,
Lynn cuts
isn't
back
he,
in
Lee?
with us. Please understand I
Are you
love him
there?
very much and
I
want
think
to
Lee
do all I
skipped out on
can
us.
to help
Lee, are
him.
we still
I now realize
connected to
this
each
is
other?
a lifetime commitment and
I'm
one
going
I
to keep
know
on
will be
reading, and
full of
maybe
ups and
Lee will come
downs.
back. And if not,
I just want to
Lee, are
get
you
the right
there?
advice of how I can help. Make him realize he's
Okay.
not a lost cause and
I
he
don't know
has
if I should
someone he
keep
can
going
rely
or
on
if we're just
regardless of how he
disconnected.
feels on
Oh,
a
it's not going to
day-to-day
hurt me to keep
basis.
on reading.
As I type this
Please
email,
understand I
things
love
aren't
him
good,
very much
but
and
I'm
want to
still
do
here
all I
for
can to
him.
help him. I now
One day he
realize
loves me,
this is
the
a
next day
lifetime
he hates
commitment
me.
and one I
I
know will
know
be
I may
full of
not
ups
help
and
the
downs.
situation by
I
constantly
just want to
texting and
get
calling,
the right
but
advice
I
of
worry
how I can help make him
24/7
realize
about him.
he's not a
I just
lost
want to hear
cause
the words,
and he has someone
I
he
want
can
to
rely on
seek
regardless.
help
I think we're
from him.
disconnected, so I'm
How
going to
these
quit.
few words would make a difference to both of us, regardless of our present situation.
Oh, shoot.
I can't help him until he wants to help
Come
himself.
back.
I truly hope he does. He's a special person and loving. As I type, I am upset and frustrated and emotionally drained, but I'm here for him no matter when or if he will ever know that. How can I help him? And let's see if we got Lynn back. Lynn is trying to come back. I want to get her advice and experience and wisdom on this topic of depression. And I see she still is not with us. And if I call her, you will not be able to hear her. Well, listeners, if you have any suggestions or comments that you would like to make, please send them to us. The email is its, always about love, the number 1, @gmail.com. And I know that Lynn would fill us in on everything that we need to know about depression.
Are you there, Lee?
And that she also would give us suggestions that could help another listener that might be dealing with something like that. So until then, I think I'll say good night, and we'll see if we can get Lynn back on the podcast.
Lee, are you there?
Okay. I will be talking with you later on another podcast to update this one. We love you, and remember, it's always about love. Bye-bye.
Lee, are you there? Lee, are you there? Lee, are you there? Are you there? Well, there's nothing I can